Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Perfect Honesty podcast. I'm your host, Amalia Henry, and here we talk about identity, confidence, self trust, and what it takes to build the life of freedom that you truly desire. If you're new here, from day one, we have been talking about life of freedom, life of freedom, life of freedom, whatever that means to you. To me, a life of freedom means doing whatever whenever. It's really just about trusting self, trusting my own vision. I'm actually so excited to talk about today's episode. Before I even go any further, I have an upcoming masterclass called Blueprint to Freedom that I believe so many women and founders could benefit from. The woman who knows she is capable of so much more. Where she wants to be is not where she is at in this moment. Those big goals, dreams, desires, they're a little bit scary. You have some doubts about it. You have some uncertainties of how you're even going to get there. She has this deep knowing that I have the vision. I have the vision. So therefore, if it's not a possibility, why am I so drawn to the vision? That's my ideal woman. So, this episode today, as I was brainstorming, what it is that I want the masterclass to really be like, I just had to look back on my life. I would say I am living the life of freedom that I imagined myself living 3 years ago, back in 2023. That was my most enlightening year. It was such a special year because it really kickstarted a lot of things. I feel like that was the year my frontal lobe developed. Like I say 3 years ago, just because that's when I started my whole personal development journey, like actually being aware and more intentional with the life that I'm living. And that's where I really started to get to know myself, get to understand what it is that I want to do with my life, especially when it came to my career, like actually making money. I knew that it wasn't about to be any type of 9 to 5. Like I have to actually enjoy it. The long and short of it is that I knew that I wanted to do something fun, something that I want to do that fulfilled me and make money from it. Right? So I didn't know what that was going to be, but I went on this journey of just doing what I felt like I needed to do, which was travel. To me, travel was, me expressing freedom back in 2023. Like, I just graduated from university, first full-time job. I have a little money. I have a little money. So, like, working is not the only thing I want to do with my life. I really wanted to have fun and experience and like try new things, go new places, do all these things. That's what freedom was to me at that time. So that's what I did. So after I took all those trips, after the summer ended, I came back to Canada. And, that was a time for me to really brainstorm on, okay, what it is that I actually want. I just went on this massive travel experience. I've learned so much about myself. So I was like, okay, do retreats, personal development, wellness retreats. I'll be there helping others in their personal development journey, in their doing what they want to do journey, like building that self trust, building the confidence, building the mindset in order to live the life that they actually want to live and not just settle for what society is telling them. Back in 2023, that was the year when, I just started getting some crazy realizations, especially about the world and the belief system that you were just shoved into, when you were a kid. Some of those beliefs that we have today came from years ago, and it was just placed onto us. So it started with me trying to figure out, myself, learn about myself, travel, experience this, experience that. And then coming to the end of the year, I had more of an idea of what it is that I wanted to do business wise to actually earn money from doing what it is that I like. I don't know how I was going to start doing retreats. I have no clue. So in 2024 now, I had gone to St. Martin. That was the first time I went to St. Martin. and my friend was actually supposed to come with me, but she ended up um not being able to come. So it was just me. After that trip to St. Martin, that was when I was like, yes, St. Martin is the place for this retreat. I don't know how, I don't know when, I do not know. But I was about to have this retreat in St. Martin. That was what excited me at the time. When I look back on that period of my life, 2023, 2024, that was the beginning of me living my life of freedom or taking the steps in living a life of freedom. I can literally see the transformation. I was scrolling through my Instagram, who I was back in 2023, 2024, and just like, oh my gosh, that is so crazy. Because if I didn't go on all those different experiences, if I didn't, say, you know what, I want to travel, I don't want to work, I want to figure out myself, I just want to, do this solo, like really sit with myself and like try to figure this out. I want to do that versus just working for a paycheck. If I didn't go to St. Martin, I wouldn't know that St. Martin is the right place to do the retreat. If I didn't do all these things, I would know that, what, coaching is where I want to take it. And it's just like, damn, I'm living the life that I imagined myself to live. When I finally realized that this is what I wanted to do, I wanted to be a coach. I wanted to help people live out their dreams, goals, and desires. It's just like, oh wow, that is so crazy. Also, when we're talking about where you are today and where you want to be, I can say, wow, where I am today is where I've always wanted to be. It's just like, don't play with her. Don't play with her. Especially when it comes to, my career, what it is that I'm doing in order to make money, how it is that I'm helping people to get to their goals as well. Like, damn, I'm here. It just feels so surreal. Just looking back on how things played out, it's just so funny. Like, there were things that I wanted to manifest, wanted to bring to life that no, I could care less about. Example A. My biggest example is, having a massive amount of followers on social media, Instagram and TikTok to be specific. I wanted 30K plus followers, and I wrote that down in my journal that this is what I wanted. How was I going to get it? The logical me was like, how was I going to actually get that if I'm not posting that much? Because at that time, I really wasn't posting that much. I was scared. I was scared. But really and truly, deep down in my heart, I knew that like the message that I have to share with people, the impact that I will have on people, I'm worth that amount and it's going to go up regardless. So it's just those things that deep down you have a knowing. Yes, I was trying to embody that life of freedom, but all these things came up for me to be uncertain, doubtful, like, will this actually work out? Can I actually do this? I told myself, we are abundant beings. You have to believe that you are an abundant being and embody that version. Point blank period, it will work out. It will always work out. Something will happen for things to work out. I don't have to worry. I don't have to stress. Even if I don't have it, I still have it. Like, a lot of things came up that I had to worry and stress about, but it was how I dealt with the situations. Like, all these experiences are coming to me, but it really is about how you deal with it. If you're going to make the limitation, the doubt, the fear, the uncertainty of it all, like, really keep you stuck and not move, you will have a different experience than the other person who acts instead of just staying stagnant. I don't want to make this episode long at all. I really just want to encourage you, the woman who knows she wants more. She is destined for more. But there's some things in the way of you actually getting more, where you are now to where you actually want to be. Something is in the way. This masterclass, Blueprint of Freedom, is about not letting the excuses stop you from actually getting there. This is such a powerful and transformative masterclass. I'm just so excited about it. I'm so excited about this journey. This is episode 7, and I just know that this is so much bigger than just me. If you want to join the Blueprint of Freedom masterclass on August 11th at 6:30 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time on Zoom. The link is in the show notes. So I'm making this accessible to anyone in the world. That was also what freedom means to me. Being able to work anywhere in the world, not being stuck. Anyways, I digress. I hope this episode helped. I will see you on the next episode of the Perfect Honesty Podcast. Again, my name is Amada Henry, and I will see you in the next one.